Asking Siri and Gemini a simple prompt shouldn't get much of a difference in response, right? But take a look at the visuals on your screens. This is a prompt asked to Gemini and Siri in real time. The simplest prompt, which read, "What are the best places for coffee in the NCR region?" And as you can see with the responses that have been given by both interfaces, there is a stark difference in the quality and quantity of the responses. Let's in fact talk about the difference that won't be lasting very long. Why? Well, let's get into it. Hello and welcome. You're watching Deep Dive on NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Today we're going to be taking a look at the AI that is used by Google and will soon be used by Apple as well. The Google Pixel 10 series, it represents a major leap in smartphone intelligence by weaving AI directly into the core user experience rather than isolating it in separate apps. At the heart of this is Gemini Live, which transforms a traditional voice assistant into a fluid conversational partner that can brainstorm ideas, pivot between topics, and even see through your camera to offer real-time advice on what's in front of you. The phone's creative suite, headlined by Add Me and Best Take, solves age-old photography frustration by using AI to seamlessly insert the photographer into group shots or merge multiple frames so every subject is smiling. For creators, Pixel Studio provides a dedicated sandbox for generating high-fidelity images and custom stickers from simple text prompts directly on the device. Beyond creativity, the Pixel 10 acts as a proactive personal assistant with call notes, which transcribes and summarizes conversations while suggesting follow-up tasks, and a robust scam detection system that monitors call patterns in real time to provide haptic and audio alerts if a conversation turns suspicious, all while keeping the data private and on device. Current flagship iPhones rely on Apple Intelligence, a foundation built on high-speed on-device processing and deep user privacy. This suite introduces writing tools for instant proofreading and tone adjustments, alongside notification summaries that distill piles of alerts into a single, readable blurb. The hardware takes a leap with visual intelligence, a dedicated system triggered by the camera control button that identifies everything from restaurant menus to pet breeds in real time, while creative tools like Cleanup offer a basic AI eraser for photos, and Genmoji allows for the instant creation of custom characters. These features currently serve as the groundwork for a more powerful intelligence yet to come. However, for many users, these updates feel like a too little, too late response to Google's dominance. Despite the pro-branding, the current experience is often hampered by the same infamously slow voice response that has plagued Siri for a decade. While a Pixel responds almost instantly, Siri still frequently hangs on a thinking or on its spinner for basic tasks. Apple's rigid insistence on keeping everything on device has often resulted in a walled garden that feels more like a waiting room, with a voice assistant that is notoriously prone to misunderstanding follow-up questions and lacking the fluid, human-like cadence of Gemini. While Apple excels at marketing innovation, they are currently playing a desperate game of catch-up to fix a foundation that has felt stagnant and disconnected for years. In a move that stunned the tech world yesterday, Apple and Google announced a landmark partnership where Apple will license Google's powerhouse Gemini 3 model, one of the largest AI systems ever built, to serve as the backbone for future iPhones, reportedly costing Apple's $1 billion annually. The deal is a strategic admission that Apple's internal AI development reached a bottleneck. To maintain its privacy standards, Apple is using a process called distillation, which shrinks Google's massive cloud intelligence into smaller, hyper-efficient models that run locally on Apple silicon. This ensures that while the brains come from Google, the user's personal data never leaves the iPhone secure enclave or Apple's private cloud compute. The first major fruit of this deal is a complete overhaul of Siri, transforming it from a basic voice trigger into a sophisticated query planner arriving in iOS 26.4. Moving beyond simple web searches, the new Siri gains contextual awareness, allowing it to see your screen and act on information in real time, such as identifying a flight number in a text and immediately tracking it. By cross-referencing data across different apps through personal context, Siri can handle multi-layered requests like checking a calendar event and local weather simultaneously, providing a unified answer that feels like it's coming from a true digital assistant rather than a search engine. Leveraging Gemini's advanced logic, Siri is evolving into an AI agent capable of performing complex multi-step actions within third-party apps. Instead of just opening an app, you can command Siri to perform agentic tasks such as editing a specific photo with a cinematic filter and posting it directly to Instagram with a personalized caption. This leap extends to complex scheduling, where Siri can autonomously scan your calendar for gaps, and communicate with external devices to book restaurant reservations or appointments effectively, handling the busy work of digital life without the user ever having to tap the screen. The integration of Google's models will supercharge the iPhone's creative capabilities, bringing features that were once the exclusive pride of Pixel users. Writing assistants will receive a Gemini boost, enabling the iPhone to summarize long-form documents with nuanced insight and assist in professional-grade storytelling. Perhaps most notably, the Photos app is set to gain advanced image editing tools like Reimagine. This allows users to highlight areas of a photo and use text prompts to change the environment, such as turning a cloudy afternoon into a golden hour sunset or adding entire subjects into a scene, matching the generative power that has defined Google's photography lead for years. So the difference you're seeing on your screen today may be real, but it won't last long, because for the first time, Apple isn't just competing with Google's AI, it's borrowing its brain too. Vivan Sharan, author and partner Koan Advisory, is joining us live in the broadcast. Vivan, is this deal by Apple an admission that their AI simply couldn't keep up with Google's Gemini?
Hi, thank you for having me on the show, and I'm sorry that I'm on the road taking this, but hopefully my audio is clear. Look, Google and Apple have shared a symbiotic relationship for quite a while now. I think Google has paid to the tune of some $38 billion to Apple over the last decade or so to ensure that Apple privileges its search engine on device as a default option. And I think this is one way of analyzing it is, of course, a natural extension of the partnership. But the other, you're absolutely correct in the fact that Apple has been struggling on its internal innovation engine. And in some sense, the stock market has not necessarily penalized it for doing so. It has rewarded Apple for an incremental approach to innovation ever since Tim Cook took over. And one suspects also that the next CEO will also continue to focus on incremental innovation bets rather than very large risky bets, as we're seeing different companies take in compute and AI and so on and so forth. So in some sense, it also reflects the Apple ethos and where it stands today. And finally, I'll say that it reflects in some sense also Google's own success in being able to come out on top after being down in the dumps when if you remember, ChatGPT launched and took the world by storm. It was sort of an application that was built on top of a lot of the work that was actually done in Google's various divisions that look at AI and compute and algorithms and so on. And yes, in some sense, this is
absolutely. Now, quick question before we let you go on how this is going to transform iPhones. How is it going to make an experience better for a user of an iPhone with Google's Gemini coming on board?
Look, as you said yourself, the agentic function right now is very underdeveloped, even within the device ecosystem. And I think the level of personalization that agentic AI will be able to bring to the fore, if it is actually well orchestrated, will really make a lot of, will help us make a lot of productivity leaps first and foremost. So you or I may not need executive assistants to be doing many of the tasks, or travel agents to be doing many of the tasks that we currently use them for. So I think over the next 3 or 4 years, many of the mechanical tasks that consume quite a lot of time for people who are using these devices, and Apple devices do tend to be used at the top of the income pyramid in India, at least, even though it is a fairly commoditized device in the United States. I think you'll see people less dependent on those kind of mechanical service delivery, as well as the sort of lower rung of folks who are helping with sort of personal assistance in one form or the other.
Yes.
I think it will take that space over gradually, but inevitably.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, Vivan Sharan, with your perspective on this segment.